Let's talk about your clutter versus your calling. Anytime someone talks about feeling too busy, maybe too overwhelmed, and needing to cut something out of their life, I get excited because I believe that is your calling out to you. And believe it or not, that is the best time to declutter your life. So I'm going to explain your clutter versus your calling. I'm going to define clutter and I'm going to define calling, like my definitions. And we are going to talk about the three different types of clutter and how types 1 and 3 create type 2. And type 2 is the one that we are probably most familiar with, most aware of. And at the end of this video, I am going to give you a couple of very simple steps to start clearing the clutter immediately. But if this topic interests you, it's going to be a 4-part series talking about your clutter or your calling. So, first of all, anytime somebody says to me, I'm feeling the pull to do something, I want to change, I want to do something, that's a holy restlessness. Now, some people might think, well, maybe that's just my ADHD, or that is me getting bored with something. And maybe that's one way of looking at it, but what if that's not the only way of looking at it? We tend to think of calling as a career path, like full-time Christian ministry thing, or I'm called to be a doctor. I don't think so. I think our calling is the unique way that we glorify God and enjoy Him forever. So, clue number 1 to your calling is look at your passions. Psalm 37:4 says, but delight thyself in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of your heart. I think this is how God works with all people, putting little micro desires in their heart that lead them along the way that He desires for them to go. And then when we, as believers, as Christians, delight ourselves in this process, we will not see our passion and our productivity for the Lord as two separate things, but as one beautiful aligned thing. The more that I truly understand what Jesus is talking about when He talks about living life more abundantly, when He talks about His yoke is easy and His burden is light. It's because when we're doing what we're kind of created to do, doesn't feel hard. It feels way more like fun. Not saying there's not hard spots. For example, a hard spot for me is learning how to do these videos in YouTube well. But it also doesn't mean that I'm not having fun while figuring out how to do it. So if you are feeling a holy restlessness, if you are feeling something that your soul is longing to do, even if you don't know exactly what that looks like, let's make space to pursue it. Now, what do I mean by making space? I'm talking about time, energy, attention, and even giving money to it. So time, energy, attention, money. Make space in your life for either the doing of it or the exploring of what it is. So we have to make room, and to make room, that is when we are going to be confronted by the clutter. Now, what is my definition of clutter? Clutter is anything that is slowing us down or weighing us down from our calling or from a better pursuit. My clutter and your clutter are going to look very differently. And we won't even have a good definition of our clutter. We won't know what it is until we know what it is we're pursuing. But in the absence of knowing exactly what it is, and this is where a lot of people get hung up on, they say, well, I need clarity about my calling. And I'm like, no, you will gain clarity about your calling as you pursue what your soul is longing for. So open your life up to more pursuit of more interests. If there's something that your soul longs to do, consider that a calling. Maybe it's not the calling. Maybe we don't know what the calling is yet. Maybe we don't need to know. But give that passion, give it your time, your energy, your attention, your money. Invest in it. Be passionate about your passion, even if you have no idea yet what God is going to do with it. Maybe it will benefit all of humanity. We don't know yet. Maybe it will simply sharpen you for a future thing. But definitely, it will teach you how to live life more abundantly. You will learn something in the pursuit of it. You will grow in the pursuit of it. You will be sharpened in the pursuit of it. You will be transformed in the pursuit of it, whether it works out well or whether it doesn't. So listen to yourself. Listen to that holy restlessness. Start following it. At this point, somebody might say, well, how do I find the time, the energy, the attention, the money to pursue this? And this is where we can declutter our way to creating more space, more time, more energy, more money. So there are 3 types of clutter are standing against us in our calling. Type number 1 is mental clutter. So mental clutter I call our inner clutter. So this is our doubts, it's our fears, it's our scarcity mindset that has us believing it's either this or that. There's not enough time to do both. Maybe it's our identity thoughts, like I'm not the type of person who can do this. Type number 2, this is the type of clutter that we are most familiar with, and that is our physical clutter. It's the outer clutter, our physical clutter. So that is all the things in our environment. It's either having too much of something or it's not having enough space to put it away. I still call that too much of something. Or not giving ourselves enough time to put it away, which then just robs us of more time. It is our clutter that definitely we're most frustrated with. It's our visible clutter. It's our clutter in our environment. It's our clutter of stuff. But there's a third type of clutter, and that is what I call others clutter. Inner clutter is our mental clutter. Outer clutter is our physical environment clutter. And others clutter is the people clutter. That is all of the obligations and all of the social expectations and all of the over responsibilities that we take on behalf of others. This is when we're more concerned about what other people think about how we're using our time, our energy, and our money than we are concerned about what we think about it. This is us seeking external approval on going to this activity, even though I don't find it to be valuable or beneficial. Type 1 and type 3 are the 2 types of clutter that create type 2 clutter, our physical clutter. So the question that I have for you is, which clutter feels like the most difficult to deal with? Is it the mental clutter, the doubts and the fears that make it hard to let go of things? Is it the physical clutter, like I am so overwhelmed, I don't even know where to start, and it feels like there's just too much, and just looking at my clutter drains me of my energy? Or is it the other clutter where you're like, I would like to get rid of this stuff, but I'm afraid my mother-in-law will ask me where it is the next time she visits. Okay, so those are the 3 types of clutter that are standing between us and a fuller expression of us pursuing our calling. So I always think about pursuing our passion, pursuing our calling, as climbing a mountain. Imagine that we start out climbing this mountain and we've got a heavy backpack on us, but we want to go higher. And the higher we go, the harder it gets. But we're still driven to go up high because we want to see that beautiful view, because we want to accomplish that thing. But the higher we go, the easier it is to unload that backpack that we've been carrying. And that's what I'm talking about. The more excited you get about climbing the mountain, the easier it is to identify and let go of the clutter that's slowing you down. Once you understand what it is you're trying to make time for and energy for and more space for, you'll be able to look at everything in your life and see that it falls into one of three categories. Category number one is the tool category. That is anything that you would find useful to your current life or your future life. My husband is a remodeler, and so he has a lot of tools. Surprisingly, he does not have as many tools as some people because he understands that too many tools get in the way of his most useful tools. So be aware of that. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing if it slows you down from finding the most useful tool. Same thing with me and my books. I have curated my books down to the ones that I would want to reread or to recommend to somebody else. All books almost could be a tool for me, but some tools are more useful than other tools. Some books are more useful than other books. So, category number one, tools. Anything that is very helpful to you as you climb the mountain. Realizing that as you climb higher and higher on your mountain, what started out as a tool becomes clutter. You're like, oh no, I could do without this. Category number two. This is the art category. These are the beautiful things, the things that add beauty or enjoyment to your life. For kids, it's toys. For us, it's perhaps a hobby, perhaps an art piece, something that makes you smile when you look at it. So many times, people get very, very heavy into minimalism. And they think, I only want what's necessary. And that's fine if that's really what you want. But I want all the things that are useful and beautiful in my life. Also understanding that's just like a museum. You don't see museums as cluttered places. You see them as well curated places. So just like you can have too many tools, you can also have too much art. So what are those top pieces that you love looking at over and over and over again? I've got a picture right here. Maybe it'll become part of my background, but it's a family picture of the four of us. It's one of my most cherished possessions, and I want to highlight it. How do I highlight it? By not crowding it. So as you go through your decluttering journey, you're going to see some things as tools. You're going to see some things as art or objects of enjoyment that increase your enjoyment. And then everything else is going to be the clutter. If it's not useful and it's not beautiful, what's it doing to you? Are you tripping over it? Are you hanging on to it out of obligation? Is it there to remind you of a past that you no longer resonate with? But in this video, the thing that I want you to be aware of most is that getting clarity about your calling sometimes start with making more time for whatever you feel passionate about, even if that passion only lasts for a short period of time. Maybe it's just a passion for a short amount of time. Go into it wholeheartedly and see what it can teach you for the season that it blesses your life. And then if you move past it, you move past it. That's fine. You learned something. Your life was richer because of it. So make room, make time, make energy, make attention, make money for those things in your life. And if this has helped, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next 3 videos in this series of your clutter versus your calling. And if you would like more, you can download my 1-minute decision filter. 3 questions that will have you making more confident decisions in your life in under a minute. That is found at aprilbragg.com/decide. And until next week, may your life feel time rich, of benefit to you and a blessing to others. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.